first grade friends. I hope you enjoy the book Uncle Andy's Cats, and now I hope you're excited to make your very own cat inspired by Andy Warhol, the artist. Alright friends, so today you're going to need a piece of paper, either a colored pencil or a black crayon, and then you might want some markers to add some color. So we're going to be making some cats like this. And then if you want, we can take it up a notch and you can even create a printing plate of your cat. And printmaking is the process that Andy Warhol uses to make his artwork, and that's how he can make lots and lots of them. And you can then print your cat onto another piece of paper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a cat. So you can either start with a pencil, a black crayon, or a colored pencil, whichever you prefer. And if you want to, you can draw your cat however you want. You can see Andy Warhol has lots of different ways he draws cats. Or you can follow along with me and I'll show you a very simple way to draw a cat. You're more than welcome to draw your own cat too. Alright friends, so I'm going to start by using my black crayon, and I'm going to start in the middle of my paper, and I'm going to draw two football shapes for my cat's eyes. So a bump, connect the bump with a U, and a bump, and I connect the bump with the U. And then inside my football shapes, I'm going to draw kind of a big circle and a line down it to make our cat's eyes. Right in between and down from my cat's eyes, I'm going to draw an upside down triangle for my cat's nose, and a U and another U for his smile. Now I'm going to draw the cat's chin right below that. And then I'm going to draw the cat's head. So a bump on the top. It's going to reach up to some triangles and come down. Now we're going to draw the cat's legs and body. So I'm going to draw a long line coming down from his head all the way down to the bottom of my paper. And I'm going to add some bumps on the bottom for my cat's toes. And it's going to come up, and that's going to be one of my cat's arms. I'm going to go over from that. I'm going to draw another vertical line down, some bumps on the bottom, and another vertical line up for my other cat's arm. And then I'm going to draw the back of my cat. So my cat's sitting on its bumper. So I'm going to draw kind of a bump that comes down and around, and then it's going to turn into his tail. So I'm going to curve it around almost like the letter J, and it's going to come up and curve back around to make my cat's tail. I'm going to just draw a line to connect these, and there's my cat. I'm going to add a couple more details to my cat. A couple lines in his ears, maybe he's got some lines on his eyebrow, then maybe he's got some stripes coming down, so I'm going to add some wiggly zigzaggy lines for that. Well, now I have my cat, so I can color him in. One of the things that Andy Warhol is known for is using very bright colors. So I'm going to use some marker, and I'm going to choose a nice vibrant color. So maybe I'll choose yellow. And I'm going to go ahead and color my cat in completely. Whew, that's very bright. I'm going to go ahead and color my entire cat in, and then I'll show you how you can make this into a printing plate. Alright, so I'm all done drawing my cat. The last thing you might want to do is sign your artwork. Andy Warhol always signs his artwork, so you can sign it in the bottom. And then if you want to, you can try to create your own printing plate. So if you want to create your own printing plate, I created this printing plate out of a piece of take-out foam. I also have this piece of foam here that was used to have some meat on it, so I'm going to use this, and I think I'm going to use my smaller cat so he fits a little bit better on there. I'm going to start by cutting off the edges so I have a nice flat piece to work with. Alright friends, so I have a nice flat piece of foam to work with. I'm now going to take my drawing I've already done, and I'm going to sit it on top, and I'm just going to trace it with a pencil. And when I trace it, I kind of want to press down hard so that I can make an indent into my foam. And you might, if you're pressing really hard, just be careful because you might tear your paper like I just did there. And that's okay with me because I can always make another one. And what's cool about printmaking, as most of you already know, is that once you have your printing plate, which is what we're making right now, we can make as many prints as we want to. So we can have hundreds and hundreds of lovely cats inspired by the artist Andy Warhol. I'm just going around the ears here. I'm gonna go around the eyes. So again, this is if you have some foam laying around the house that was maybe something you were gonna throw out. All right, let's see. All right, it looks like I can see it fairly well. You can kind of see where I've made an indent. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a ballpoint pen. So a ballpoint pen is a pen that has a little ball on the end of it, and it's gonna roll really nicely across my foam so I can make a really great indent. And I'm just gonna go over and trace over where I created my cat. One thing, a couple tricks with when you're tracing on foam is that it's easier for me to pull down than push up. So I always kind of turn my foam so they can always be pulling towards myself instead of pushing up. And I'm just gonna trace all the way around my cat, and then I'll show you how we can print it. All right, so I have my printing plate completely made up. And again, this is just an old piece of foam. So what I might do too when I'm done with this one is I might go ahead and make another print on the back so I can have a couple different prints to make a really cool paper of lots of different cat prints. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a washable marker. And again, if you remember, Andy Warhol uses lots of bright colors, so you can use some really strange colors for your cats. So I might do, maybe I'll do this blue. And I'm gonna do a blue cat. So I'm gonna color my whole cat in with this blue marker. And you're gonna notice it's gonna kind of not sit too nicely on there because this has that really smooth, so it's not gonna be absorbed in at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and color my whole cat. If I want, I can color his eyes differently and his nose differently, or maybe even make a rainbow cat. All right, so I have my printing plate all colored in. Now I'm going to go ahead and print it onto a white piece of paper. To print it, you're gonna need either a little spray bottle of water or a damp washcloth, and possibly a towel that's dry or a paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and spritz part of my paper where I want to print my cat. And you can see some parts are really shiny. That means there's too wet. So I'm just going to gently dampen it or pull off some of that water with my paper towel. Let me see. And then maybe one more spritz to just make sure it's nice and moisturized. And then I'm going to take my cat and press it where I sprayed. So right here, I'm going to give it a nice massage. So the trick with printing this way is to make sure that you have the right amount of water. If you have too much water, your marker is going to spread out and get all blurry. If you don't have enough water, your marker's not going to be pulled off of your printing plate. So if you want, you can kind of lift up and see what it looks like, and look at that. That looks pretty good. So if I wanted to too, I can always go in and color in the eyes if I'm not happy with what those look like. Make him a little bit more visible so he doesn't look too much like a zombie cat. And I could even maybe add some lines with my colored pencil too. All right, so then I can go ahead, color this again. If I want, I can clean off my plate, spritz it and wipe it off because I don't want any blue on my next print. And then maybe I'm gonna print another print, and this one will be pink. All right, there you have it. So here is a fun way that you can turn your fabulous Andy Warhol cat drawing into a fun printing process too. And this is very similar to a process that Andy Warhol would have used as well. I can't wait to see the cats you guys come up with. Make sure you email, share on Facebook, all the awesome cats you're creating this week. I miss you guys, and I hope you have a great week.